have been sirens over my body. It could have been me. Instead it's sirens over the bodies. Another day in America. We wait around for the change that never comes. Another day in
Beautiful song. Award-winning singer-songwriters Aly and AJ call their new song Sirens cathartic after surviving a mass shooting in 2022. The sisters sheltered in place in their tour bus with their band and their crew in Sacramento. Gunmen killed 6 people almost directly outside. Now they're turning survival into action with the release of the new single and advocating for gun control. Aly and AJ join us only on CBS Mornings Plus. Welcome. Welcome to you both. The song is so poignant. The video is poignant. You went back to Sacramento, to the spot where this all happened, to film it.
We did.
What was that like for you, and why did you choose to turn this experience into this piece of art?
I think for Aly and I, our way to heal is music. It's always been that way. I think a lot of people can relate to music as a healing mechanism, experience. I think for Aly and I, when it came to writing the song, it was such a delicate subject and something that we had really, really not known how to deal with quite properly. And so we felt like this song was our way to process what happened that night.
Yeah.
And
going,
just hearing
going back, I think, was part of that too.
Yeah. So I do feel like this song has been a part of the healing process. And I think when we play it live, that will even enforce the healing more, I hope.
Did you write it in a way different than the other songs that you've written? I mean, did you draft it together? Just talk about the process if you could.
We chose to write it with a collaborator who we're very close with and feel really safe with. And I think he understood that, again, this is a very delicate subject matter. We did not want it to come off as exploitative in any way, shape, or form. And we ended up crafting it over the course of a couple years. The shooting that we experienced was in 2022. And we started working on the song, I want to say, like, late that summer. And then, you know, over time, we just kind of would tweak lyrics and go back to it and kind of step away and then come back. But he created this really beautiful musical bed that we just kind of dove into, and it really inspired these lyrics.
So you guys were loading out of a concert, right? You had just started your tour in Sacramento. You were were you on the tour bus? What happened? Because now news reports explain that this was a gang-related shooting, people shooting at each other. But what did you think was happening at the time? And what did you do?
We were on the bus. Most of our band and crew were already on the bus. Aly's husband was actually checking out of the hotel room, the day room that we were staying in. It was night 1 of the tour. We had 2 crew members still in the venue. It was about 2 a.m. and it was terrifying. I mean, I'll never forget hearing the gunfire and knowing immediately we have to get down. We have to shelter in
we
place.
grew up around guns,
all of us were on
so
top
we're very
of each other.
familiar with what that sound is, you know, being at shooting ranges. So I think for us, we knew immediately what was happening. And, you know, we just got down on the ground and AJ started praying and we just kind of held each other and held the band and each other's hands. And then, you know, it subsided and we just kind of like stood up and we're all really shaken up. And then my husband came on the bus. I was really panicked because I didn't know where he was. So I was crying, asking my drummer, can you please call Steven? You know, where's Steven? Where's Steven?
Yeah, it changes you forever.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. And now you have an infant son, Jack, who's somewhere here in 1515, and your husband's here as well. And you know that line that's so haunting in the song about it could have been your body under the sirens. You can't help but think about the family and Jack as well.
That's right.
And I wasn't even pregnant at the moment that we wrote this song, which is interesting too. The fact that I'm, you know, talking about a mother lies on a sidewalk by her son is, I think, really chilling. But
in order to try to change things, you were at a march in Washington last month, part of this advocacy group, March 4th.
Correct.
The effort there is to ban assault weapons.
Yeah.
We live in a country where there are people who don't even like the term assault weapons. They'll say assault style, or they'll say it's just a rifle, whatever it looks like. What was that experience like for you, and where are we in the journey toward change?
It was powerful, and it was hopeful too. I think for us, being able to be on the ground and see the people behind the scenes, the people that are working in the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, that was incredibly inspiring to us.
And for 20 years, the assault weapons ban was in place, and it worked.
And it worked.
There was a 70% decrease in gun violence when it came to assault weapons during that time. So the fact that we're here now and it's been 20 years since that lapsed, this is our main goal now driving forward is to get the ban back.
No fear it's going to alienate fans?
No, I mean,
No.
I actually think that most people agree on this topic. That's what's so frustrating. I think it just takes talking about it in a place that feels safe and you're not going to be judged about what your opinions might be politically. But I think this is something that we can all kind of get on board with, regardless of party.
Yeah.
These are weapons of war. They don't belong in
They don't
civilians'
belong
hands.
in
Just don't.
in everyday
And
civilians'
like
hands.
you guys said, you grew up around guns, you're familiar with guns,
Correct.
but you see a big distinction here.
Yeah, and I think that honestly, like a lot is at risk this election with this specifically. So I feel like it's, I don't know, I think it's more important than ever to be like outspoken about what you truly believe in because so much is at stake. And again, we've experienced it firsthand, so I think we look at it differently now too.
Well, thank you so much for being here and spreading
you
your
for having
message.
us.
Thank you, Aly
Thank
and
you.
AJ.
having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sirens is available wherever you listen to your music. It is so beautiful.